I built my life around this bright idea. I built my life around this insight I found. Hello and be welcome to another episode of Let's Develop Bright Ideas. This week's insight is about relativity, so to say. It's about the context of things. So, out there in the world, especially in computer science, there are lots of brilliant ideas, lots of techniques, lots of methodologies, like processes, for example. Let's take Scrum as a thing to talk about, but actually, for me, that's representative for quite a number of things. So let's talk about Scrum. I personally think that Scrum, or the ideas behind Scrum, are brilliant. It's this agile idea is exactly what needs to be done in my point of view. But that does not mean that you can always do it. So for example, there is a student project going on at my university. I took part in that project as a student, and now I'm supervising it. And in this project, students develop software in small teams over about a year's time. And funnily enough, most of the teams start claiming that they do a process called Scrum, but they actually aren't, because the students in this project don't work on the project full-time. They don't work on the same location. They don't even have an office to work on the project in most of the cases. Some of them, of course, have, but in general, they don't have an office. They don't work there. They can't do daily stand-ups because, for example, they only work one day per week, and every team member works on different day per week. So it just doesn't make sense to do daily stand-up, because for like 5 out of 6 people, after 24 hours, nothing has changed because it just didn't work on the project. So as you might see, there's just this context in which you try to apply some brilliant idea like the Scrum process, where it just doesn't fit. So despite being a brilliant idea and a good approach, it just doesn't work. And it's like that with other processes, with other methodologies. Take mob programming, for example. This idea by Woody Zuill, that you take like pair programming to the max. You take all the people in one team and make them work together on one screen, on one machine, so that they're always up to date, they always know what's going on, they always can contribute their knowledge to make the team most productive. And as Woody correctly says, this is an approach that works for them, but does not necessarily work for everybody else as well. And I agree with that, because that's exactly the point of this episode. That, for example, in a setting where I am working full-time on my project, but I have some student contributing to it who's only working like one day a week, it's not possible to apply such a process, because even if we would work all the time he's working together, it just would take me too much time to get him updated on the things I did in detail for us to work together on, for example, my task. So it makes sense in this situation to split up tasks, to work on separate things, and only like synchronize about the most important things that change, and not about all the details. So depending on the setting, depending on the context, we can apply some methodology, some technique, or we can't. And I think it's always important to keep that in mind, and to actually judge for yourself in your current situation whether you can apply some technique or not, whether you can adapt it to fit your situation, or whether you have to throw it overboard and find something completely different. Okay, that's it for this week. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you have some feedback, ideas about it, feel free to post, shoot right away, and I hope to see you next time.